Hello, everyone. Welcome back. And I'm just going to kick this off right in the first second. We have some really exciting news that we're going to be sharing for the foreseeable future and even at this episode today.
Yes.
Are you so excited?
Yes, I am so excited. So if you're listening, I invite you to stay tuned until the end. We have a little journey, a little story that's going to take us to this exciting news.
Yes.
So yeah, I can't freaking wait.
Hello. It's like, come along, library story time, friends.
Exactly. We are your librarians today.
We are. Because today we really want to focus and highlight this whole aspect of business and friendship. And for us specifically, like how our friendship has grown. And really, I don't even know time frame. Like, I don't know. It's really since the podcast that we've sort of opened this door into like business together. Like what? Ooh, like what could that be? What would that morph into? And so the podcast was kind of, I feel like when we first started to open that door, but it's like a really fun, I don't know, journey to kind of look back and see like, how did we get here? And like, where are we going? That I think a lot of people will get some value from as well.
Yeah, I'm excited. I feel like it's going to be a very cheesy episode.
Probably. We're just going to like love up on each other the whole time.
Yeah. But I want to love up on the fact that I'm in a new space again.
You are. Yes.
I decided to get an office, guys. So I have my own place, my own address now, somewhere to go and record these episodes and do the work that we're about to be doing together.
Yes. And how's it going so far? This is literally day one.
It's good. I've been here for 2 hours. So far, so good. Met some people. I peed twice already.
Ooh. New kid on the block.
It, though.
Yep. Love it.
A couple meetings. But yeah, it's nice. I'm excited. It feels very I don't even want to say next level. It feels like I am arriving at where my like spirit has been probably for like the last like 2 years and where my spirit has been asking me to go for the years. And I think that'll kind of tie into this like story that we're going to tell a little bit today. But I feel like I'm like arriving and I'm like, oh, hey, little late, but here I am.
Never
ready to show up for work.
Right. Oh, I love that. That's got to feel like just a nice grounding feeling.
Yes, it does. It feels exactly that.
Good. Oh, so good.
Anything new with you that you want to share before we talk about us?
Been moving and grooving.
Are your boxes unpacked yet, Jessica?
No, friends.
Just an update for the masses.
I don't know if it's going to be one of those like, and we just donated all those boxes one day because I never wanted to open them.
Okay, I'll power to you. We'll see. I respect that.
I mean, it's been a month, so it's like, oh wow. Okay, we could do something.
It's been 3 years.
It's been 3 years of our friendship.
It has been 3 years. Okay, so let's talk about this.
Yes.
When did we meet? We met. Technically, we've never met, actually. Let's like
physically in the same
Physically,
space.
We still have never met. What if we don't like each other?
Oh, just kidding. No.
I'm just kidding. But it's like, when you like text someone, I don't know. I feel like I haven't dated in 9 years, but like you're texting someone or you're messaging on the app and have some phone calls and then you meet in person and you're like, different energy.
Yeah. Right. Like, chemistry's off.
Okay. We'll just never meet. No, I'm kidding.
Right.
I'm so excited to meet you one day.
Oh.
But yeah, we met in November of 2020.
Yes.
And I feel like this was very like school-like, right? Like we were supporting Emma Dunwoody in her human design coaching and like us kind of being guides in that experience. So we kind of got paired together through that with the lovely Jenny Crowther. So me, Jess, and Jenny got like assigned to each other. So like I just feel like such a cute, cheesy start to like a friendship. Like little school kids.
More to that is I actually kind of prompted this because I had emailed Emma asking, could we have peer review? So I
thought you were going to say like you like picked me and Jenny.
I didn't even know you two existed.
I was like, wow.
But like, I like prompted this, like, okay, we're all in it. There's like this group of us, like, could we have some sort of exchange? So from that, she paired us all up.
So you are the seed to our friendship.
My manifestation.
I love it.
Yeah.
So yeah, us three, like, what did we do? We got in a group chat and we were just like, hey, hi, I'm Jenna. Hi, I'm Jessica. Hi, I'm Jenny. The 3 J's, 3 witches.
Yes.
And we set up like these calls to do that peer review. So it was kind of like we coached each other. Yep. Do you remember who coached who? I think I coached Jenny. So then you coached me and Jenny coached you the first round.
I don't remember. Probably.
It's just funny thinking back now. And this is a conversation like we should be including her in right now of like the OG, the beginnings.
Right.
So hi, Jenny, if you're listening to this. But that was so interesting because it was like when we began coaching.
Yes.
But then it wasn't real coaching. Like we didn't hire each other.
Right. And we were kind of like, how are we doing? What are we doing this? What do you want to talk about? Okay.
Yeah. But then at the same time, like we were all of a sudden like texting a lot in our group message.
Yes.
Like just, I don't think I ever had a friendship that like deep that fast.
Oh,
it was like, okay, so let's like not force coach, but like, that sounds bad, but like be given this task to coach each other.
Right.
And then like we hang up and then we're like, oh, and also.
Right.
This generational trauma, my shadow, I just quit my job. It was like, you two just happened to be there at that moment of like, I quit corporate in December of 2020. Yeah. And this was like right then.
Yes.
So it just like, thank God, like we all kind of got grouped and started this relationship then, because I feel like that was right when I just pivoted my entire life.
Yeah.
And you guys got everything, every detail of every feeling I ever had at that moment.
It was great.
I've never stopped.
None of us have. Like, no,
the end. Story over.
Right. And that's our relationship.
When did you leave corporate?
Oh, it would have been like March 2020. It was very
so
COVID.
You were kind of out of the game for like.
Yep. But at that point, I was under unemployment. Like I was getting all the that whole setup.
There was still like a security blanket there for you. Yep. So it was probably stripped the same time I stripped mine.
Yes, it was similar. It would have been like March of 2021 when I stopped.
Yeah.
Getting all
and
of
it's
that.
funny, like me and Jessica were talking before jumping on about like, okay, so like what has been our friendship?
I know.
And we're like, oh my God, we've known each other for 3 years. And we were like, what have we been doing?
I know. Like
total transparency. We're like, well, I feel like we've just been literally talking for 3 years in our apps, voice chatting,
all the things.
And it's like, it's kind of trippy when you think of it that way.
It is. Like, I think I may sit with that for a moment after we talk. Like, whoa, 3 years. Wait a minute. I'm like, what's happening?
I might need to sit with the fact that I've known you for years and I don't know what I've been doing.
What's going on, guys?
Oh my God. It's so funny though. But I feel like this, like, can we normalize like not being busy? Like that was like the best part of like leaving corporate. Like I had that generator hangover for at least a year, like a legit hangover.
Yeah.
And I was just like hungover with you guys, basically. Energetically. That was my life experience.
Yes.
And obviously, like I had the business and stuff, but like, let's normalize the fact that like there can be times or like periods of time in your life where you're just not doing or not getting.
Right.
Or there isn't like this giant like shift. I feel like we're always changing or chasing that change.
Yeah.
But when I look back, like, these last 3 years have just been like very present and also chaotic at the same time.
Yes. For me, it's this like it like the life lesson. I'm still like, okay, still in this one. All right, I'm still here. Is that like, well, how am I going to show up? How am I showing up? I
feel like I've showed up 10 different times and then I like crawl back in my hole.
Right. Like I have those moments and I'm like, I don't know. Because it's a whole different thing when you're an entrepreneur versus the role you're hired for.
Yeah. And like, let's be clear, like solopreneur. Like, I feel like that word needs to just be permanently replaced with solo, because it was like, honestly, so because we're talking about like business, being best friends. I don't know if there's like a perfect through line here. It's just all messy and collided.
It is.
Like when we think back. And I forget what I was going to say. Son of a gun. I love when this happens. I'm in a new space and I'm like, it feels so awkward. Do I sound more awkward?
Actually, you sound pretty normal. I
sound normal. I feel like I have like a little like kid nervous energy today.
I'm gonna get in trouble.
Am I getting? Yes, exactly. I forget what I was gonna say. Show me I could ask the listeners and we could pick right back up. Messy business through line. Oh, I feel like that's what we're here to teach each other. Like looking back, it's kind of funny. Like we've been kind of like learning the same lessons along the way and like mirroring back and forth the same things of that, like wanting to be seen.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to get to like what we're going to share of like how, you know, we're hopefully moving through this freaking pattern.
Right. Well, and I think, you know, we saw this for ourselves individually in one of our just random conversations. And then we were like, hey, what if we do like Monday chats? And we even had this conversation with Jenny and she was like, I don't need business. Don't give me that structure. And we're like, cool, respect it.
Yeah.
And so you and I set up Monday morning.
Well, Monday hour ones.
Yep. Chats to like, okay, what's your goal for this week for your business? What's my goal? What's coming up? And then from that's really morphed like this next phase for us.
Yeah, because it was like lonely before that. That's what I was kind of saying too. Yeah. Like the solopreneur, like it was very, even though it's like we were friends and we were going through it together, but still just like, it was like so lonely navigating, leaving corporate and starting and like sharing your own expression and starting your own business, whatever like lens you want to look or say that through. But yeah, then it got like a little less lonely when I think I was like, do you want to meet on Mondays?
Yeah.
Because like I have so much like to talk about and I don't want to like dump all of this on Nick, even though I still did for like up until yesterday.
Well, and like it provided us some structure too. Like, you know, we were like, oh yeah, okay. This like I can put this as more of a priority. Yeah.
But I feel like looking back at those Monday hour ones.
Yes.
What did we do?
I mean, the first handful were good. And then we just started to get back to talking.
And then we were just like, not like, oh God, I just kicked something. Oh my God, I just totally kicked something under the desk and I don't know what it was. New surroundings, nervous energy, Jenna. But I was going to say that like we kind of started just like being lonely together in the sense of like, I don't feel like we have had lovely clients. Like, let me say that.
Yes,
like,
absolutely.
Let me like start by saying like, I have worked with some amazing people. I feel like I've worked with a lot of people. It's just this like of service and self-expression has been very inconsistent throughout that whole journey. Like, I think even in the low moments, not low moments, but the more hermity moments where we've been like, can we do this? Like, what is this? What are we doing? Those like just lonely, scary moments. We were still like of to the people around us and like sharing ourselves. But yeah, it's been like this push and pull of like going like balls to the walls in our businesses and then kind of like scurrying back in and being like, what's happening?
Right.
And those Monday hour ones kind of like normalized that experience.
Yes.
And like we got to feel that and experience that together.
Yes.
And that was freaking nice. And it's still nice.
It is. I mean, and that's literally was why we started this podcast because we were having some juicy conversations.
We were like, why? Wait a second. Why aren't we sharing this with people? Because we would sit here and like talk about our feelings, our business.
Yes. Our struggles.
God, I don't know. Just
spirit,
just everything.
Energetics.
Everything was on the table. And then we'd have these nuggets together and be like, holy shit, that was good.
Yeah.
That was good. I feel like someone could benefit from
Yes.
That. And we had so much fun doing it. So we wanted to also just kind of feel like maybe it was something like it was meant to be in the world is kind of what it felt like. It was like these conversations aren't just for me and Jessica, like just to sit here and talk for 2 hours on Monday and then be like, oh man, now what do we do?
Right. Like that was good. Okay.
So then we kind of opened this door and it was so like, cute and awkward, I feel like, when we did the podcast invitation and like responding exchange.
Yes,
So as a projector, I mean, I have started a podcast before.
That's true. Yes.
It was fun. Like, I love the outlet of just communication and a mic, but it was not fun by myself. Like, it was hard and just like awkward, and I would forget what I was saying, and there would be nobody there to say like,
right,
this is what you were talking about, Jenna.
Yeah, right.
And then I'd just be like, okay, I'm done. And then you at the same time had also said like a few times, like, I think I might want to start a podcast. I don't know. I feel like I want to open that channel. And so it was interesting though, because Jessica's a generator and she needs to respond. I feel like she was kind of waiting for like that responding.
Yep.
And I'm a projector and I like to be invited. So I kind of put it out there and was like, what if we just do a podcast?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you were like, oh, yeah. And then like, I feel like we waited like 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah, probably
over the holidays, just like letting it sit. And then you came back around and you were like, so are we going to do this? I'd love to do this. And I was like, okay, I'm invited.
Right. Yes. That is how it happened. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was like cool to like honor our human design too.
Yes. Yep.
And I don't know. I just feel like this has been like the most our relationship sounds so cheesy. Ooh. But it's been like the most organic thing.
Sure. Yes. Yes.
And like what it's grown into.
Yeah. It just has. It's like,
it's been like the easiest thing. And so like, if you're ever doubting what to do in life, go towards the organic, easy thing.
Yes.
That's how we're meant to move through the world.
Yes. I mean, like this podcast, we've one way or another recorded every week. And even when there's been blips for either one of us, it's like, oh yeah, no, we'll just blah, blah, blah. And like, cool, done.
Did you ever think about yourself in business with a friend? Like, was that like a goal for you or not like a goal? That seems
no, I wouldn't say it was a goal. I could see like having a team or having support, but not necessarily like co-founder sort of.
Yeah, vibe. Me either. And I feel like you've had more consistent relationships in your friend like groups and in your life and your network over time. But like for me, I feel like I've had this very like do it yourself individual energy. I know it's in my chart like a wee bit, but it's also like being an only child and also like not circling through friends. Cause like, I don't think I have a lot of friends, but having friends that like come and go in seasons. Like I've had some really good friends that like literally don't talk to them anymore. And so for me, it's always been like, I never would have thought to like pair my self-expression and my service and my passion in the world with somebody.
Yes.
Cause I think there was like intentionally avoiding it, but there would definitely be like fear there of like, yikes.
Sure.
Like, yikes. That's a lot of trust in somebody.
Yes.
But like I said, we've literally just been voxering and voice chatting for 3 years straight. I'm like, I don't know if we're going anywhere. We've like hit the marker of like, okay, you may now do business together.
Right? Like, okay, you've passed. You're here.
You passed the threshold of like, you are now attached.
Yeah. Right. Absolutely.
In a very healthy way, I think, kind of.
Yeah. Well, and I think another thing here is like, are either one of us in business with all of our besties? Like, like it's not like even if you have a close, deep relationship with somebody, does your personality and their personality or their strengths and your strengths come together? To be like, like I can see this vision now. So that's something that I think has been very, very organic because we do have different skill sets and we have similar skills too. But I think that's that's what I'm most excited about is because there's just been so many times it's like, well, I don't want to come up with the branding for this or like, I don't.
And I'm like, don't touch it.
Yeah, pretty much. Like,
and
hey,
like, we're okay with that.
Yes. Or I'm like, hey, let me like schedule it. And like, what are the dates for this? And like, how can we, scale it or, like those sorts of things.
It is so weird because we are so like over the last 3 years, we've gone through very similar like transitions and realizations and we have the same patterns we're trying to continuously break.
Yes.
So there's a lot of like comfort in like being friends with you because I'm like, oh, Jess is definitely probably feeling this too. Like I can say anything and not feel crazy.
Right.
And that goes for Jenny too, but Jenny's just like a wise fucking like,
oh yes,
she's just our wise teacher. Like,
yes,
I don't know.
Yes.
I love you, Jen.
Our oracle.
But like, I feel like you and I are kind of like learning the same things at the same time.
Yeah.
So there's like that piece of it to just feel so cozy in our work. Like I want to feel cozy at work. I don't want to feel like every day pushed out of my comfort zone. Like I want to have fun and like be cozy there. But then yes, that like dimension and layer of our human design like pairs perfectly in the sense of, yeah, I am like more of the creative and the visionary of like, oh my gosh, I see this whole thing.
Yes.
Oh my God, I see it. I want it. I want to do it. I want to do it. And I have tried to do it.
Yes.
And you've been there and I'll get into that later. But then I'm like, whew, okay, all done. That's all I got. I can get it to like a certain point. But now, like the more we've been working together, and I think it's so cool that we've like been patient with going there. Like we didn't like meet in November of 2020 and be like, oh my God, Jess on paper, human design, we'd make great business partners. Let's dive right in. Like this has been such a nurturing between us and like the forces and energies between us. Yeah. That now it's like, oh shit, like wait, I can relay this to Jess now. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, this is way easier. And this, I think for me, even in the last few weeks where we've kind of come together even more, it's been this like message from the universe of like, Jenna, you don't have to do it alone. Like you absolutely like, you can be individual and yourself, but also like, it's okay to receive help and not that like, you're just helping me. This is very like equal and like no hierarchy here.
No,
but like, yes, it's still at its core is like help.
Yes. Yes. And even for the flip side, for me, it's like this partnership where I don't feel like I need to be wearing all the hats, right? Like, oh, well, that's legit. Like, okay, yeah, I can put myself more out there knowing that there's another and also knowing like I don't have to have all the answers. Like,
yeah,
we get to do it together.
Yeah. And it's like fun. It's freaking
it's
fun
totally
that way.
Fun. Yeah.
Like I think about, I mean, once we kind of dive into like what we're ready to like share with you guys and where we're at now and what we're planning, when I was trying to do that alone, like, or attempt to do it alone, it was like being in like a dark room, sitting on the computer, like with my thoughts. And I get maybe that's how some things are created. Like that is what a author does. That is what a painter does sometimes, you know, sometimes you just have to face your shit and like create through the shit. Yep. But like, I was like, I can't, this isn't a lifelong thing. Like, this isn't fun. I don't want to just sit here alone and like create this business. Right. And then like repeat everything I did all day and then go tell Nick about it. Or I was telling you about it. Like, okay, I just worked alone all day. Here's what I did. Like the engagement piece is what I was like missing so much from this journey of entrepreneurship.
Yep. And I think that's such a good call out too, for you being a projector. Cause so many times, you know, projectors will be like, well, I don't have the invitation. I don't feel recognized. Like, what do I do? What do I do in my time? And I feel like that's a good example of in that time period, it wasn't fun, right? Like there was that ego side of things more attached to it. Like you had the download, but the timing was off. And so now through both of the experiences we have had over the last couple of years, now it's this organic, the time
it is
come
timing
together now.
Yeah. Cause I think like, think of all the like shit we've healed too in the last 3 years side by side, like completely individually within ourselves. Yes. I mean, the amount of shadow work that we've done in the last 3 years, had we tried to start this in November, you would have been my biggest trigger probably. You know what I mean? Like we would have just triggered each other, but so that is kind of cool how like we got to just like be side by side for a while. And now we're coming together because like we're both at a place where we're not healed. Nobody's healed, but like we're healed enough. Sure. That we can like create this really cool thing together that I'm so excited about.
Yes. And I'll also say with that, like another reason I think the timing is appropriate now is for both of us, for the clients we've had and like, you know, our own businesses. I think for Well, I can at least speak for my clients. For most of them, I'm like, man, I wish I had an additional resource for them.
Mhm.
Or like there's always been just this feeling of, oh, I wish I already had this put together. But
Mhm.
when I think of that, I'm like, oh, that's a good idea. Or I'll brainstorm this, that, and the other. It's like, well, I'm not gonna do that. Like,
Exactly.
oh,
Yeah.
that's like real pivot right there. So I feel like there's also this element for us just as our own business owners that, once we brought that up to each other, it was also this other kind of just another dot to be like, okay, here's another thing that like makes
Mhm.
sense as all these pieces are now coming together.
Gems.
All the gems. We're
I had to
paying
say gems.
attention to the gems.
Gems.
You're gonna hear gems a lot. But yeah, that I think that's another piece of like this timing as well.
Yeah. That's so cool. I'm so
Yeah,
proud of us.
I know. We'll see what
Like,
happens.
I know. It's just, I feel like it's so, like, such new paradigm energy
Mm,
to,
mm.
like, not
Yes.
even have the intention to create a business together or, like,
Right.
not come into the
Right.
friendship, like, looking for that. I
Mhm.
mean, I had no, and I think that's why it was so cool, right? Like, we
Yeah.
got put into this little group and had no
Yes.
expectations. There was no, like,
No.
we were all just like completely exposing ourselves energetically, emotionally,
Oh,
spiritually,
yeah.
with no expectations on the other side of like a group chat. And then it became like this like very just intimate, cozy, safe space.
Yes.
And then even from that space, it was like, okay, there was never this intention to like, let's do business together.
Right.
It was like
Right.
very much we were all honoring our season of life.
Yes.
And it's just meshed so much that it just like, it'd be dumb to not.
Yeah. It's
Now
like
it would be easier to like, it's harder to avoid working together is where we've
yes.
gotten to
Yes.
because we tell each other everything.
We do, and we just have a really good flow. I mean, the podcast has been good evidence, I think, for both of us.
Mhm.
If we didn't have this, I don't think we would.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think this would have come in this timing.
Yeah. So I feel like it's like a little bit of an invitation for everybody listening. Like,
Mhm.
I mean, it's an invitation to like go slow and honor where you're at, like
Yeah.
on one hand, but then
Yeah.
also like don't hesitate to like start small with other people, because like I
Sure.
know there's a big fear for a lot of people to
Yeah.
have to ask for help.
Yep.
I mean, technically, like I needed help having a podcast energetically. Like
Sure.
I needed help. And
Yep.
like, even though it wasn't that energy of like you were servicing me or I was servicing you,
Yeah.
it's still like it's okay to kind of invite other people into your journey as an
Yes.
entrepreneur, as a business owner,
Yep.
and see where it goes.
Yeah. And if you currently don't have like any business besties in your
Mhm.
life and you are an entrepreneur or you're wanting to pivot or whatever that looks like, well, that's a great thing to get clear on. Like, okay,
Mhm.
well, if a woman came into your life today, like what would those characteristics be? Like, what are you looking for? I
Yeah.
mean, it's like a partnership, right? Like,
Yeah, it
take
is.
some time to kind of start to cultivate that so you can start to see that in your reality too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cute. It's so
Yeah.
funny. Like I still feel like we are not awkward, but like we're active as we're like having this conversation. We're very much like in it and
Yes.
experiencing all of this for the first time. So I kind of think it's a cool perspective to share with
Mhm.
people. It's not like we're on the other side of this and being like, okay, this is how you go into business with your bestie. Like this is
Right.
how it happens. This is what the lessons we learned. We're just kind of actively like scooting along and like looking
Yeah.
around and we're like, oh wow, this is pretty easy. This is pretty fun. And
Yes.
like, I think it's cool to kind of share that along the journey, which is what we also want to do with the next phase of Jessica and Jenna.
Ooh, and it's not gonna be called With Jessica and Jenna.
No, absolutely not. My creative mind says hell to the no.
Yeah, that's, cross that off the
Yeah.
list. Do you wanna
So
tell them?
yeah. So I don't I'm so excited. I'm like so giddy about this.
Good.
Like I'm just very much still in the giddy stages of this, but
Yes.
we are rocking and rolling with it. So
Yeah,
I better get out of the giddy stage and get into the like, here
it's
we are
happening. It's
stage.
happening.
Um, okay, so do I give like the backstory? I don't know.
I think that would be great because this
Okay.
again, this goes along with when timing is
Mm-hmm.
off and how timing is really
Mm-hmm.
universe is really showing itself for this
Yeah.
opportunity.
And the universe like gives you who you need
Yeah.
when you need them.
when you are aware to receive it.
Yes. Okay. So I was in the shower. I feel like I've told another shower story.
Oh, for sure. This is how all your stories start. The creative process.
Once upon a time, I was in the shower, and this was probably like, it was in, okay. I don't know if it was fall. I think it was fall 2020. So this was before I met you.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. We were in our new house. That was the first year, and I was in the shower and struggling like with what to do with life. Do I quit? Do I not quit? Like, I was still at corporate, I was like, what do I do? I don't know. I'm not happy doing what I do, but how do you quit a job? Like, just like all of the thoughts and feelings. And I got a download of my spirit guide saying like, okay, if you had 0 responsibilities, what would you do? Where would you be? And I was like, in the woods. I'd be in the woods. Like, literally, I'd go to the woods and just sit there and watch birds and like smell pine trees. Like, that's what I would do.
Perfect.
Maybe take a nap. I don't know.
Probably.
But like, that's immediately where I wanted to go. And then I heard like, we'll just go there. And so of course I'm like, okay, all right. I got out of my shower, put my little hiking boots on, and I was like, I'm going to the woods.
Yes.
And then while I was there, I was like, how cool would it be if I could like take this feeling and this like sense of peace and ease and simplicity and just pure freaking like organic joy and bring it into the way that I like deliver what I'm doing and deliver coaching and human design. Like, how cool would that be? And so since then I have made, I don't even know if I've made, probably, because it was like a little bit from the ego. Like, I'm saying like made as if this was my thing to bring to life, but I've just been like the channel for it, but I didn't know that at first. So like at first it was like something I just kept taking that download and the continuous downloads that I got, and I kept trying to turn it into something like tangible. I literally did a mastermind, and then it didn't feel good. And then I was like, oh, maybe it's a course. Maybe I make a course. Okay, I'll do that. Then it was like, okay, it's a community. Okay, now it's this name. Now it's that name. And if you guys have been following my journey, you've seen it.
Yeah.
Like 10 different variations of this original thought and download from 2020. Yeah. And it's funny, I've had so much shame and like frustration around that, like up and down, like getting excited and then being like, oh, I quote unquote failed to bring it to life. Like it felt like I was very much failing. But as we've been saying, like divine timing, like waiting for the moment, waiting for the right people. Yeah. So that moment is now, and my person is you. I feel like in the last, like since January, even just probably through this podcast episode, you guys have been hearing me like release attachment to everything. And I very much have worked to release attachment to this idea. I'm like, I don't know, maybe it's very like big magic. It's got to go to somebody else. Like maybe someone else needs to take this and bring it to life. So I feel like I've been surrendering and like grounding back into just, honoring invitations and doing the day-to-day and being in the day-to-day moments. Yeah. And it doesn't go away though. Like spirit just still keeps poking me. And it's like, so what about that thing? What about the woods? And it poked me at the perfect time a few weeks ago while Jessica and I were on a call. Yeah. And I was talking about how I've been feeling, and she's talking about how she's been feeling. And I just had that same moment that I did with the podcast of like, wait, like, do you want to do this with me? Right. Do you want to go steady on the woods? Didn't say that. I wish I would have.
You didn't, but that's how you phrased it.
Yeah. And like we had a conversation, and I feel like your sacral like lit up.
Yes. Yes.
But it's very excited because Jess has been, I have like done show and tell with Jess
many times
on all of these variations of this concept that I've been trying to like grab and put into the world. And I just find it so funny because like all along, Jessica was right there. Like, wow, that's great, Jenna. I love it.
Yeah, I do. It's wonderful.
And it's like, I kept thinking, oh my God, what's the missing piece? Like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, just the battle of being an entrepreneur. Yeah. And I just think it's so funny. Like, as soon as Jess, like you said, yes, after that, like I just saw my spirit guides like going out to happy hour. They were like, God damn it. All right. Thank God she finally got the message. Like, don't do it alone. Like, you have like the life force and so much wisdom to add to this so that it can be a whole experience.
Oh, Yes, please. Like, who doesn't want to sign up to that?
That was a long story.
But that, I mean, that there's been a lot of time.
It's been like, I say my business has been one of my biggest teachers, and it has, but I really do think like this idea and this creation has been like 90% of that, like lessons of those lessons and that teaching.
Yes.
And like, I have struggled, like I said, to like feel comfortable, like allowing other people in and like sharing.
Sure. Right.
Only child. No.
Yeah.
And so this is like another layer to it. And it's so cool.
It is so cool. It is so cool.
Okay. So do you want to speak to it like as a concept a little bit?
Well, sure, but I want you to. Like, you're just rocking and rolling here.
Jess, but you're in this. It is now. We've arrived to now, and it is a partnership.
Here we are, people.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so it's something, I mean, this has just been what, 2 weeks?
Mm-hmm.
So to give you guys that time reference as well, like this was like 2 weeks ago for that invitation, that ability to respond. And it was really nice on my end of the things. It's like, you know, this comes to Jenna and she's written things out. She's done all the visual, like there's iterations of things literally already out. So I'm like, yeah, you want me to come in and like fill in the holes? Cool. Let's do it.
You're doing more than filling in the holes. So like, I know what you mean, but I just want to like give you credit that like what you do is not just fill in holes.
But like so much has already been visualized that it's like so great. Like it's this is easy. Like, of course.
I mean, you're just saying this and I'm like, it's so much more fun to do it together. And I'm so excited to bring it to not just our clients, but whoever else is excited to come into this experience. Like, oh my God, I get to be in the woods with you. Like, I'm like, damn, that's what, like, it's been such a solo thought. Yeah. And that's probably why I also like not flunked out, but just like hit my wall with it so many times because it didn't seem that fun. Like, I don't want, like, there's no part of me that wants to like there to be any hierarchy in the woods or in this experience or in any type of work that I do anymore. So it's like with you there, it's like, oh, duh.
Yeah. Yes.
Easy, fun, playful podcast on crack and self-discovery.
I mean, yeah, that's kind of how we see this space starting and evolving.
Yeah.
Which is so fun.
So it's called The Woods Within.
Yes, it is.
And we're basically creating a new world.
Pretty much. Come join us.
Like, it's like a new world where like healing and alignment is easy, like a walk in the woods. Like, Jess and I have been down the paths of like where not leadership, but like mentors or maybe even just like courses we've taken or, books we've read that have made like healing and even human design. Oh my God, people are trying to complicate the shit out of that. Like trying to make things seem so complicated and so dark and so deep to face yourself and face your shit. And I've gone there and played that narrative. And I'm not saying everything is easy in like your self-discovery journey. There are moments that maybe feel hard because the feelings you're feeling are uncomfortable if you don't feel them a lot. But it can be so freaking easy. Like it can be so playful and easy. And I think that's what not only is our energy and human design meant to bring to the world, but also what we've like realized and brought to ourselves over the last 3 years that like, oh wait, this can be so fun.
Yeah. Yes. I'm just like, period. Yes. Why isn't there more of this out in the world? Like, why are we making everything so hard?
But it's also like going to be so like supportive and structured. Like, I feel like what we're creating is really this like beautiful masculine container that you get to come in and like set yourself free in. So it's like this, I feel like it's this lesson of like learning how to set yourself free and be your own authority and like let your own life teach you. We're really going to kind of build this structure so that this isn't a stop life and like go experience a course. It's not even a course. I don't even think we're calling it a course in any way whatsoever. I hate courses. Like I never do them. So it's not this like stop life and go into the woods. It's turning your reality into the woods within and really learning how to experience yourself inside out in this world inside out.
Yes. While enjoying your life.
I want to go there right now. I want to go there right now.
Whole you.
Yes. Becoming a whole being.
Yes. Yes.
Easily.
Doesn't that sound nice?
Oh my God, it's amazing. I just like want to go frolic in the woods right now.
I know.
I mean, I am. Internally, I am frolicking.
Yes. Oh, but yeah, I mean, that's our intention. Like, and we have a vision for what this space construct will be, but I'm also so excited to see who comes in the space, the needs that are requested, like how it evolves and grows. Because
there's
it's so
so
good.
much to be experienced, like in the woods within. Like there's a lot like in the works.
Yes. Friends, we got a ClickUp list. It's growing every day.
ClickUp. We have so many tasks. But I think it's kind of cool too, because we're still learning, right? Like I feel like right now I'm learning, like holding myself accountable. And now that I have you on the other end, though, it's so freaking helpful to be like, oh my gosh, Jess is watching me. Like I gotta get the thing done. So I think there's a lot still for us to learn if we're talking about like best friends in business, like for us to learn and navigate together. But even though we have a ClickUp list that's like endless, I am like enjoying it because there's just this like organic exchange. And I know that like it's in the right place now to come to life. It's in the right energy. It's like, it's our little baby.
It is. It is. And, another thing, like when Jen and I were just a couple weeks ago, like initially talking about this, it also was like, this will be a business. It's not like, hey, here's a cool idea. Let's like, cool. Like it was already an intention of like, no, like this can work in our lives. Like this can support the lifestyles we desire and really serve and support the people who are giving that financial exchange. And that part seemed really grounding for me. Like just to like see that and be like, this is legit. Like yes, it's easy, it's fun, it's legit. Like,
and you seeing it that way.
Yeah.
Like, that's how I know too, that like you were the perfect person and partner for this, like the whole time, because like, there's even been moments, Jessica, where I was like, Nick, do you want to do this with me? And he's like, what? Like, but like, look at this. Like I could, the whole time I was like, holy shit, this is the coolest thing I ever like downloaded. Cause I know it's not mine. Like it has nothing to do with me. I basically was like, I like to hang out in the woods in my spare time if I didn't have any responsibility. And so Spirit dropped this like beautiful concept, business structure, like execution of that experience. And so now that it's not mine, like it's so funny to think like you were there the whole time. Cause I was like, I swear this is going to be really cool one day. I just, how the fuck do I do it?
Right. Yeah. Oh, it's good.
There's so much I want to say, but like, I don't want to get ahead of myself.
Right.
But let's just like drop that there's going to be maps. There's going to be campsites. There's going to be campfire calls. There's going to be everything that you love about the woods.
Yeah.
In a self-discovery safe container that is also like really down to earth and playful, like this podcast. Like there's no pressure, forceful, like heavy. We're not like, we're not making it. It's not that deep.
Right.
But it also is that deep because it's the woods. So like, who knows?
Yep. And there'll definitely be human design, information.
Oh, for sure.
And very like experiment focused. So it'll be a very like practical, applicable. Thank you. Space as well. And, we both hope that like there'll be unique connections made too. That's something that I think would be so fun. To be able to meet new people who are kind of on a similar path, but want to do it in a different way.
And want to do it their way. Like, and do it their way. It's like, this is very much like this. There's nothing cookie cutter about it.
Right.
It's like, you're going to be in control, but you're going to get to have all of these resources and potentially even work with us in deeper containers as it grows and grows.
Yes.
As we water it. Oh my God. Okay. there's so much. I'm like, all right, bye. I want to go work on it.
I know we have things to do,
but we do like why we wanted to bring it up, right? And share it with you before it's,
yeah,
packaged and ready for purchasing is that like I said to Jessica, I hate, like I'm cheering everybody on, but I hate when I just see like someone's final product and they're like in launch mode. And it's
right.
like, oh my God, I just built a 6-month container and
Right.
all of these resources. And I'm like, how the F did you do that? Like maybe
Right.
it's my projectorness or
Mm,
being a solopreneur. It's like, did you do that by yourself? How did you
yeah,
do that? How
right.
did it come to life? Like, what were the steps?
Yeah.
And we want this place to feel really authentic and transparent and safe. Like I just keep saying, like, it's a safe space for you to
Yep.
be where you are.
Yep.
So we want you to like see the behind the scenes of us creating
Yes.
this.
Yes.
So
Yes.
like very much, I told you the whole backstory. I've told you how I've quote unquote failed to bring it to life so many times. Now Jessica is here and we're
Yeah.
going to kind of be sharing the development of it. And of
Yes.
course, some really important dates on a new Instagram handle.
Yes. We got another
So,
one.
yes, who cares? I don't give
I
a
know.
shit. I'm going to get all the IG handles.
Yes,
Keep
please.
up with me. But it is at the Woods Within. So if you
Mhm.
want to follow along and kind of see us create something in the world, birth the woods within
Yes. Yes.
into this
Yes.
life,
Yes.
go follow it.
I'm just excited to even do that. Like that. I just like,
What, the Instagram?
like the real behind the scenes. Like here's
Oh, I know.
like the
I
messy
know.
action we're taking.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
I want to share all the shit that has been coming up within me the last 3 years. I mean, maybe none of it'll come up now, but like I want to share that with everybody so that
Yeah.
I don't know, you can normalize creating a business with your best friend.
Sure.
Dang. Need
Yes.
more of that in this
New
world and this
paradigm,
new
people.
new paradigm. I was just about to say it.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Mm,
Enjoy those you're around.
yeah. And like it can be fun and easy and
Mhm.
it can be intertwined.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
And
are
it can
you
be
are whole.
uncomfortable. Like
You are whole.
doing new things.
Yeah. Oh my
Yes.
goodness. Okay. Well, is there anything else we want to share? I mean, our journey of being friends in business together is obviously still unfolding,
Yep.
but like we said, we want to be transparent about relationship dynamics and
Hmm.
how hard and easy entrepreneurship can be and what it's
Yep.
like to actually birth and create something in the world.
Hmm.
Um, so that's exactly where we're at, right in the
That
middle.
is literally where we are. Yep.
What did we leave anything out? Anything else
Do
we can
we
expose
ever?
about ourselves, right? Oh,
I don't
so.
know. I just hope if you're still listening, you are along for this ride with us. And if you are an entrepreneur, yeah, we just hope it gives like a different lens
Mm-hmm.
of how to go about and support yourself and your dreams, your passions, how that can look in a different container.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What's like the hardest thing that you're working through right now with creating it? Just to kind of give one of those nuggets. And then maybe each week we'll kind of check in
Ooh,
and say
sure.
what's hard or difficult about this creation or me.
Gosh. No. That part that's good. All good there. My mind didn't even go there. Um I mean, I guess maybe the unknown of it right now because it's still
Mm-hmm.
very new.
That's so cute.
Yeah. But nothing seems like a drag
Mm-hmm.
in this moment.
Yeah. I feel like not as much in the unknown. Like, honestly, my experience is like you
Yeah.
coming in and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, there it is. Like,
Right.
puzzle piece. This is
Yeah.
like, now I'm like, okay, now the whole thing is there. Let's do it.
Yeah.
So mine isn't that. Mine is just the nagging ego voice that's in the back of my head of like, you already tried to create this.
Sure. Sure.
I'm like, shut up, bitch, back off.
Right.
I have a
Right.
friend now.
I got a new plan.
I got a new plan. I got a business partner. Gosh. Like it's like calming that voice when it
Yeah.
comes up, when like I sit down to, write some of this content or,
Yeah.
show up in the space. It's like, oh, like there's a small part of me that's like, really, you're going to try this again. And I'm like,
Sure.
yes, because that's what it's like to be human. You just keep
Yep.
trying things. And if
Yeah.
they stick around like you have as a best friend
Yeah.
and the woods has as a concept, they're clearly meant to be here. So
Keeping it easy.
surrendering.
Love it. Yes.
Yep,
Oh, lots of surrendering will be happening.
for sure. All right, guys. Well, I hope this got you excited. I hope it gave you a little look into what it's like to work with someone else. I'd love to hear more, partnership dynamics, any stories you have, good or bad. It'd be fun to kind of dive into that, or have someone on the podcast if maybe you guys are in partnership together. Totally. Whatever it is, reach out, follow us on @WhileYouWait and @TheWoodsWithin.
Yes.
And also leave a rating and review on all the spots so that we can keep sharing this conversation and perhaps the woods with the world.
Sounds so good. Thanks for being here.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.